ready to roller jam.
Has Mark D'Amato found a manager for his enforcers or not?
As of yesterday, Mark D'Amato had failed to hire a coach general manager for his enforcers. Now, this comes as no surprise. Who would want to take the helm of a team of sociopaths and degenerates?
As usual, I'm a genius. I have found the perfect manager for the New York Enforcers, and believe me, she's a real bitch.
While D'Amato's in the Logue doghouse, it's the Riot who may be next to get boned.
If Richard Brown, comes near me with that briefcase, I'm gonna stick it straight up his old freaky...
And the Riot must learn never to mess with a man's hog.
I know who's messing my Harley. The big Nazi's going south of the border because I'm one hot tamale!
The fired up enforcers bring their wrath to the Riot next on Roller Jam. You're looking over Orlando, Florida, and Roller Jam Arena here at Universal Studios in Orlando. This is the World Skating League, and the Jam Girls will signify this is Roller Jam. Tonight's game, the New York Enforcers and the Illinois Riot. You couldn't find two tougher teams in any sport anywhere. I'm Rory Marcus along with the Dancing Machine, Lee Hawk Rearman. And tonight, we'll find out about not only these two teams, but about their managers. As you know, every team now must have an infield manager. King Richard Brown has taken the skates off, at least for now. He is the Riot manager, and he's been a Riot with that briefcase.
Well, he's taking the skates off, and I think he put him in that briefcase because it looks a little heavy when he goes to the head of some of the competitors, but he's put it to good use. I don't know how long this guy can keep this coat and tie on, though, Rory.
We don't know yet who the New York Enforcers manager is. They have not named anybody. I doubt Mark D'Amato will take off the skates. But Tim Washington, he'll never take off the skates. He has been so tough.
Well, he's not taking off the skates, and he put on a wig the last time he saw him before he went out for a match race.
In 1776, a great Washington kicked British ass. And in 2000, another great Washington is going to kick some British ass!
Well, he promised Rory, and he delivered because he won that match race against that guy.
But then he tried to come to the track on his motorcycle, and it wouldn't start. Earlier today, having trouble starting his bike, his Harley. This is how he comes onto the track these days, and obviously Washington not happy, senses that something is wrong with that Harley.
He kept looking, the sleuth.
Well, he checked out the gas tank a minute ago, and now what's this?
This ain't gas. Chili.
Ray Robles, he better watch out tonight.
I'm not standing near him.
He's gone crazy with that chili powder, and he obviously put some in the gas tank, and Washington's not going to like that at all. Now, here come the teams. We'll see what Washington comes in on. He doesn't have his Harley. Here they come. There's Ray Robles. He says, yeah, baby, I love that chili. I like to cook it in a motorcycle gas tank. The Riot make their entrance, oozing from the walls of the Roller Jam Arena.
I'm not sure if Robles has seen that shot of Washington discovering his little secret, or he may not have that smile on his face, Rory.
If he hasn't seen it, he'll find out soon enough. Denise Loden comes in the conventional way, with a little shake down the rim. Boy, what a great addition she's been to this club. I can hardly wait to see the suit the King has on tonight. Last time we saw him, he said it was custom made. He didn't get it wrinkled. He has a custom-made crown. And here he comes.
Ah, different suit, Rory. I think you better stole that from you, my buddy.
He's on the cell phone, too. Who in the world would Richard Brown be talking to right now?
Well, my last dollar says that's plastic, and he's perpetrating like he's talking.
Well, maybe. Maybe. You never know, though. He could be talking to the florist. Maybe the guy that made that tie.
Maybe the guy that made that crown.
Let's go!
Big Nasty's ready to make his entrance. On what, we don't know. Oh, my goodness. Uh-oh. A little girl's bicycle.
He's mean enough, Rory. I think he's really mad now.
He's even mad at the crowd. They haven't done anything yet. Wonder what he's going to put in that basket.
I'll tell you where he's going to put that bicycle, probably over the head of Ray Robles.
He's looking for Ray, I guarantee you that. Oh, and here's bad news. The Hellcat. To Lisa Miller. Now, what in the world is this?
This might be the manager. I don't know. Leather is escorting somebody out. I don't know if it's Mark D'Amato or maybe the new manager or just the Grim Reaper.
That guy couldn't manage anything. Obviously, he's a slave to this girl. He's in handcuffs. He's got a hood on his head. And Leather Gunnan has brought her slave to the game. What a heartwarming story.
But is it a boy or a girl? That's what I want to know.
Who knows? Here come the rest of the enforcers. D'Amato almost seems like the good guy with this cast, believe it or not.
Where's D'Amato?
Oh, don't worry. Here he comes. Robles didn't get to his Harley.
I hate to admit it, Rory. I look forward to seeing this guy, as do all the ne'er-do-wells that he brings with him on the team bus.
There's a separate entrance labeled ne'er-do-wells for enforcer game.
Or more important, I guess more appropriately, the team dump truck.
Well, I guarantee you that Ray Robles right now is going to keep his eye on Tim Washington, and he better do it. D'Amato parks the bike. Waves to the adoring public. And right now, Broadway Danny Wolf is with the Big Nasty, Tim Washington, who is holding up the little girl's bike. There's Tim. There's the bicycle. There's Broadway. And you better be careful what you ask him right now, Broadway, because I don't think he's in a good mood.
No, I gotta say, Big Nasty, this is the silliest thing I've ever seen.
You laughing at me, Wolf?
No?
Listen to me. The Big Nasty can ride whatever he wants. Bicycle, tricycle. You know what? Where's Robles at?
I told you.
Oh, my God. Wait,
That's
Mark
no way to treat a
D'Amato,
bike.
I gotta ask you, every team right now in the league has a manager. You guys do
First
not.
of all, let me just say this Robles has guacamole for brains if he's going to think that he can get away with messing with Big Nasty's bike.
How about the managerial chase? Who is the man? I see a love slave here. I think that's Leathers. Who is your manager, Mark?
Let me tell you something. I have hired a manager, and I will reveal this manager at halftime. Until then, this individual is in the back taking care of a few personal items of mine, closing the deal on my video game with EA Sports. It's called Mark D'Amato's Roller Game Challenge, and it'll be out shortly, boys and girls.
All right, well, you just heard from Mark D'Amato. He says at halftime, he'll tell us who the manager of the enforcers are. Back to you, Rory and Hawk.
Well, that's nice. Who the heck is that person? Can you believe they do that willingly?
Like it goes to Christmas past.
Robles, here's your new trike for Christmas. Enjoy it, buddy. Feliz Navidad. We'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back at Roller Jam Arena, and we're ready to go and get this game started. And it's about time, huh?
Well, we spent so much time talking about the enforcers, we forgot a little bit about the Riot and Amy Craig. She's joined Denise Loden in that Riot female lineup to add a 1-2 punch that is almost unstoppable. And she's not a bad-looking young lady either, is Amy Craig, and she'll be going against Leather. I don't know what kind of effect having her love slave or Ghost of Christmas Past on the infield is going to be, but Leather gunning, Heather gunning, the gun, and she can play the game, Rory. Well, she seems to have really responded, her and Hellcat, to this, I guess, dark side of the New York Enforcers.
That guy'd like to look at that sign, but he's not allowed to. First period, we're ready to go, and there goes Leather gunning and Denise Loden, and Denise right away takes a little of the devastation out of Leather's game. That's quite a way to start the game for Denise Loden. And now Talisa Miller gets yanked down from behind by Amy Craig, and Amy gets out on the first jam of the night. Has to adjust her skate. That's going to cost her a little time on that jam clock, but she's so fast on those skates it probably won't matter. She'll have plenty of time to score. Amy Craig with a full 30 seconds left. If she can get around that track and lap an opposing player, she'll score a point. And for every one she passes, she'll score a point. Leather gunning and the Hellcat, Talisa Miller, back there talking things over, and they're going to stop Amy Craig. And Loden comes over and decks both of them. Down they go. Amy Craig gets the points, and Denise Loden has started this game like she means business.
Well, she stole a page from Tim Washington's playbook, did Denise Loden. He calls it the double King Kong, the double Kong. Denise Loden brought it out of mothballs right from the first jam, and she's going right after the Hellcat. You see her first time around, dispense of leather in pretty short order. And then she does 2 for Tuesday, takes out Hellcat and the rest of the young ladies of the Sisters of Suffering. Denise Loden goes right after the Sisters of Suffering, where she looked at the whole lineup on the first jam.
Jam number 2 gets started. Amy Craig jumps out of there along with Leather Gunnin. The game just underway, and the Riot with a 2-0 lead after one jam. And Amy Craig, who just picked up those 2 points, would like to get more. Leather Gunnin, who's a slave, is sitting obediently on the bench, who's out there working for a living. How about that? You ought to make him do something. Right now, Amy Craig and Leather Gunnin are locked up together on this jam. Leather got a little bit of separation between her and Craig, and she has a chance to score if she can get by Loden. Denise winds up and gives her a shot. 20 seconds left on this jam. And now Loden being led into Talisa Miller. She holds her up, and what's she going to do with her? Oh, wow. What goes up must come down, I guess.
She calls it the rack, does the Hellcat. She brought it out from the House of Horrors.
As Talisa Miller works over Denise Loden, the jam comes to an end. All right, let's go down to Broadway, Danny Wolf.
All right, thank you, Rory. I've never, not knowingly, ever interviewed a real love slave. How's it going? Oh, this is ridiculous. What is your, what's your position with the enforcer?
Sit down. You don't move until I tell you to. Sit.
She'll set him straight. He'll do what she says, that's for sure. He might be able to get up and stand on his own against Broadway Danny Wolf, but as soon as Gunnin got over there, he sat right back down like a good little boy. I think it's a male slave, you can tell by the mumbling. All right, third jam underway, 4-0. Riot leading the game. And there goes Amy Craig. Her and Denise Loden have come to play, that's for sure. Amy Craig out on the jam once again for the 3rd consecutive time, as a matter of fact. And who goes back to help her out? Loden. These two have been quite a force with this team. Richard Brown knows what he's doing as a manager. And here they come together against Miller and Gunnin, and right underneath they go. Amy Craig gets the points and skids to a stop. Calls off the jam, but they picked up 2 more. And as tough as the Hellcat and Leather look, they're not doing much on the scoreboard.
Well, the first jam was power of Denise Loden and Amy Craig. This one was finesse. We saw the double Kong from Denise Loden in the first jam. This time we see just a good old-fashioned whip. Doesn't take a lot of energy, but it gets it done. And Leather and Hellcat were left in the dust, Rory.
And the fighting goes on there at the starting line before this next jam. Now they have them together. You can still see up there on the top of the track, Loden and the Hellcat whacking each other around. Final jam of the first period. The Riot lead this game 6-0. Billy Guthrie got sent up against the rail, and that gives Leather Gunnin a chance to get out of there. And Guthrie now has emerged from that pack, and she'll chase. She grabs the hair of Leather Gunnin, but didn't pull her down. And Gunnin has a little something in store for Millie Guthrie, I have a feeling. Oh, they're 2 of them really going at it on this jam. 30 seconds left in the jam. Neither one of them giving an inch. Look at that score for the Enforcers, and you know that Gunnin knows that she needs some points. And finally, she's able to knock Millie Guthrie out of the play. Now she has only 13 seconds left to get up there and score. See if she can do it with Denise Loden back there to block. Amy Craig's back to block. And Amy says, come on. Now just 4 seconds. Does she have time to score? She's not going to make it.
She ran out of time, Rory. She's really sucking wind. Now, thank Amy Craig. Came in shape. Leather Gunning must be out of shape from her love slave. And Amy Craig's taking advantage.
Takes a lot of energy to whip somebody constantly, doesn't it? That's the end of the first period. And Leather Gunning picks herself up, and that's effective. Just throw your helmet at Millie Guthrie. She's a frustrated goddess. All right, we'll be back with period number 2. It's 6-1 Riot. We're ready to go into the second period of this game. It's been all Riot so far, 6-1, as Craig and Loden really set the stage, and you can see the King even from here.
Well, the King, you can see him from here, and he is not standing near that man, Tim Washington. That gaze on his face, the kinder, gentler Tim Washington than what we saw when he brought that bicycle in, Rory. He is steaming mad. He's lost all his modes of transportation, and he is going right after Ray Robles. Ray Robles better have a little bit more chili powder in his pocket. He better have some power, because Tim Washington has put his crosshairs right on the face of that man, Ray Robles.
I guarantee you Ray Robles has some chili powder somewhere on this track. He doesn't come unequipped. Mo Sanders for the Riot and Fred Eichhorn for the Enforcers jump out of the pack on this first jam of the second period. Sanders for the Riot, number 56, and Fred Eichhorn trying to help the Enforcers get back in the game, but not that way. Sanders with a chance to score some points, and the big nasty goes back to block. And he's in a nasty mood, which isn't good news if you're Mo Sanders. Robles gets back there, and let's see what Ray's gonna do. He gets a whip. He almost pulled even and said, wait a minute, Mo, let's think this thing over. Let's get ourselves together. And the skates to the back send Washington down. And then Robles jumps on him again.
One Riot point.
3 times. Ray Robles always skates away like I didn't do anything. Meanwhile, D'Amato came over and knocked him down.
I don't know, Rory. I wouldn't go after that wasp of Tim Washington if I were Ray Robles. He may have just gone to the well too many times. He may have won this short-term battle. You see him go right to the back of Tim Washington. Kind of clipped him a little bit. That's about the only way you can bring down the big nasty. But then he goes back and picks on him a little bit. Great play by Mo Sanders, overshadowed by the battle ensuing between Ray Robles and Tim Washington, which I just got an itchy feeling is going to come back to nip Ray Robles from the rear end.
We'll find out, as the good play by Mo Sanders has given the Riot a 7-1 lead in this game. Second jam of the second period. 4 jams per period, of course. And there's a tangle up, huh? But emerging from the pack is Andy Wallace of the Enforcers. And now Fred Eichhorn got away, and the Enforcers can get right back in it right here with 2 jammers out. And Robles drops back. He has his buddy King Richard in the infield, but he doesn't have him on the track anymore. Robles stops 1, and now D'Amato goes back. And the Enforcers have their sights set on Ray. And there's a left-handed shot by D'Amato that sends Robles over the rail. That lets Eichhorn and Wallace glide through there and easily score points. They have time to kick them when they're down as they go by. Thanks to D'Amato, who picks up and throws down number 57, Travis Wills.
Whoa, what a cheap shot. Another one by Robles, Rory.
Robles coming from behind. And now he dives after D'Amato.
That's it. Let's go, that's it.
Oh, no.
There's the King. Washington's trying to put that wooden block down on Robles.
I was trying to put it through Robles.
That used to be one of the King's better suits.
Well, this used to be a sport until about 30 seconds ago. It turned into a melee. Well, this is what precipitated the whole thing. Mark D'Amato takes number 57, Travis Wills, out like the morning garbage. And the rest was just unadulterated bedlam.
Third jam now coming up with D'Amato in the penalty box. And the Enforcers all of a sudden ahead, 11-7. That was a big jam for the Enforcers. And now they once again get the only jammer out there.
But the Riot, under the tutelage of King Richard, always take advantage of these power jams, Roy, with D'Amato in the penalty box. Look for him to try to pick up some good points.
Tony Santiago emerges. Slips by the Big Nasty. Robles is out on a late chase. Santiago gets knocked flat. The pack is kind of jamming up in there. Gavani's in there working. Gamble. Now the Big Nasty will try again with Santiago. Here comes Robles catching from behind. But Washington puts him down on his back. Ray gets right back up again. Bounces up. And goes down one more time. And now the Big Nasty turns to face him and says, come on. The Big Nasty has a big height and weight advantage over Robles.
Oh, no.
Ray's in trouble.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's going to take a whole bowl full of menudo to make him feel better about that.
Well, it took him 2 or 3 jams to get warmed up, Rory. I think having to ride that bicycle to work maybe winded him a little bit when he got here.
Robles went down hard as the Big Nasty's been waiting for this for a while, ever since his motorcycle wouldn't start.
Well, if you have any question about the strength of Big Nasty,
right there is where he hurt his head.
that's Ray Robles, as Kenneth Lowe likes to refer to him as.
Why not? You can't be going out there doing that stuff to my players.
What do you mean? You're scared and kept skating and
But
damn.
no, young man, that man picked him up and dropped him on his head. You need to throw him out of the game or at least put him in the box. Yeah. Man, what is this?
What do you want me to penalize him for? Being big?
No, for hurting my man. You don't do that
I
thing
guess
to
he
him,
needs to go
Ryan.
to the gym, Mark. Or he don't need your time. Go back to your bench. I'm not going to penalize him for being big. Let's go.
All right, the final jam now of the second period. Then we'll be at halftime. Robles, who's on the bench. A little bit shaken up, but he'll have all halftime to come back, and believe me, he will. He's a tough guy, chili powder or not. Mo Sanders, he's a pretty good skater. He's out there leading the jam, and trying to catch up with him now is his teammate, Travis Wills. The Riot with a chance to score with 2 jammers out there, D'Amato and Washington. How do you get by those two? They take up the entire track, as Sanders and Travis are finding out. Travis gets knocked down again.
Whoa!
Oh, my goodness. Where'd that come from?
The Air Ninja, Brian Gamble.
Brian Gamble. What a play by Brian. And Mo Sanders celebrates and said, yeah, we're the Riot. We can knock these rails down just by leaning on them.
When we get so preoccupied talking about the duo of D'Amato and Washington, Brian Gamble shows up with an Air Ninja out of nowhere. Hey, boys, we can play this way, says Brian Gamble.
He sure did. That took Washington and D'Amato by complete surprise. And we are tied at halftime. Tremendous move by both Gamble and Sanders. We're back in just a minute.
This Roller Jam halftime report is brought to you by Mars Twix Bars.
Welcome back to Roller Jam Arena here in Orlando. The score is tied. The Riot and the Enforcers all even at 11-11, and what a night it has been already. First, Tim Washington has to come in here on a little girl's bicycle because Ray Robles has put chili powder in the gas tank of his Harley. Plus, we have Leather Gunnin bringing in a hooded slave. What a night, huh?
Well, I don't know if she was tired before the game because she has this love slave or if she got tired during the first period, but a lot of it was because Denise Lowe and Amy Craig said, hey, Leather Gunnin, you're going to be our saddle today, because they rode her hard, and it really affected her by the end of that first period, Rory. You could see her just absolutely exhausted was Leather Gunnin. And for the men, you're absolutely right. Big Tim Washington, the Big Nasty, he came in here, he got off to a little bit of a slow start. He might have been tired from riding that bicycle. Usually he has his Harley, but he finished up, and Ray Robles goes to the track hard, does the young man. But, hey, we always forget a lot because of Tim Washington and Mark D'Amato. They're so tough about some other people, and the Air Ninja from Brian Gamble scores points for Mo Sanders.
Oh, yeah, Mo Sanders with a great play there right near the end of the half as he scooted by after Gamble's tremendous block. Now, when the Enforcers travel together, which is a scary thought in and of itself, they have a tour bus, and it's custom made, believe me. We got a chance to take a look inside.
Rumors claim that the Enforcers' bus they're suffering is even more vile and obscene than their on-track persona. So we decided to find out what really goes on the most dangerous bus on wheels.
Hey man, I'm just a bus driver. If
you won't go back there, you're on your own. I don't know nothing about nothing.
The first enforcers we encountered were impressively hard at work studying film. Then the Hellcat, Talisa Miller, and Leather Gunnin.
Don't make me spank you. Smell your pain. Move out!
Even Broadway Danny was hanging out.
What the heck do you think you're doing? Get the thing out of here. I'm having a moment.
The last of the enforcers we found were Captain Mark D'Amato and the Big Nasty.
That's not funny, man. That is not funny. Okay, I got it. Z. You, dude, there's a Z in there. That's what it is.
They were in the midst of a highly intellectual game of hangman.
Okay.
Come on, I'll give you one more chance.
Luck out and die. No, see, you know what? Quit cheating. That's it, bro.
So much for a bus full of freaks.
You hate to lose, man. Yeah, you hate to lose.
How embarrassing. Big first half so far, tie game. You got to be impressed with this Mo Sanders, Mark.
You know, that horse-faced idiot, he's an idiot. I'm going to put a dent in his cranium. You know what? The last time I saw a face like that, I had $50 on it to win.
Oh, come on, Mark. Well, it's time now to name your manager. You said she, I think, was backstage.
Absolutely.
Who is it?
This is the big moment you've all been waiting for, the introduction of the Enforcer's manager. I have been, for the last week, reviewing resumes, accepting applications from all walks of life, bankers, lawyers, and every two-bit broken down roller derby has-been there is. And Green, yours was the first in the trash. I want you to know that. But anyway, I have such trust in this manager, I've actually turned over most of my personal dealings to her as well. I think it's time to bring on the bitch.
The bitch? Oh, that's not nice. Why are you calling these nice-looking ladies? That's not, you don't call them that.
No, Wolf, you missed the boat altogether. Spike, my dog, is the new manager of the New York Enforcers.
I don't think this is what Jerry Seltzer had in mind.
Wait a minute, you can't have no dog as a manager. They don't carry briefcases and look good like me.
Let me tell you something, that dog is better trained than you are.
Oh, crap! I'll step all over that dog. I'll stop that.
No, you won't.
Rory, let's take it back up to you.
All right, Danny. Thanks a lot. And Mark D'Amato has scoured the nation for the most qualified manager he can find. And there's Spike. I love it. Might be smarter than D'Amato, though. We'll be back in just a minute. There's Spike. He's the new manager of the New York Enforcers. We're at Roller Jam Arena ready to go into the second half, but first, Leather Gunnin will speak for her love slave, and Broadway Danny Wolf will conduct the interview. Broadway?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to attempt to talk to the love slave anymore. But Leather, you said you had something to say.
Yeah, Amy Craig, we got a real treat for you this period, something you've been begging for.
Oh, any ideas, Rory? Back to you.
Yeah, I have a lot of ideas, but I can't voice them at the moment.
Go ahead, man.
We'll find out exactly what she has in mind for Amy Craig.
Go ahead, man.
I thought the love slave was the only one that's done any begging lately.
I've done some of that too, man.
Here we go. Denise Loden gets railed right off the opening whistle by the Hellcat Talisa Miller. Tie game 11-11. Meanwhile, Spike's over there discussing strategy with D'Amato and Big Nasty.
That's actually a pretty apropos conversation between those three.
All right, here comes the Hellcat Talisa Miller up to the back of the pack as we watch Leather and Amy Craig working on a separate area of the track, but now Miller gets there and Denise Loden just levels her immediately. Denise has a towel in her hand. Why, I'm not sure. I think we're about to find out. And she gives a kick to Leather Gunnin and sends her down into the infield. Now the towel comes into use. Oh, man, this is payback. Remember when Gunnin used that whip to choke somebody? Well, now she's getting choked.
Denise Loden came out right out of the chute, and the Hellcat went after her, Rory. I think caught her a little bit by surprise. But Denise Loden came back with a vengeance. We saw the whiplash to Talisa, the Hellcat Miller, a little bit of payback. And then she finishes off with a public hanging of Leather Gunning.
Well, Leather Gunning's used to inflicting the pain, not accepting it.
Maybe that's what she has in mind for Amy Craig.
One enforcer point scored there, so they're up 12-11. And out on the jam right now, that's Shauna Brown. So Shauna Brown leads the pack out of there. Millie Guthrie, after hip checking her opponent out of the way, is now trying to catch Shauna Brown. Brown and Millie Guthrie reach the back of the pack. Denise Loden's back there. Loden whacks Brown a couple of times, and Talisa Miller takes up the blocking for the enforcers. Two very tough blockers, and they're both doing their jobs. Loden takes Shauna Brown out, and speaking of taking out, look at this. Oh, right into the rail, face first, and then the knee into the face. Oh, man, did that ever hurt, just to watch it. Now Loden and Miller go at it.
That's it. Let's go.
Rory, if the first period was all Amy Craig versus Leather Gun, and this one's been all Hellcat, all Denise Loden. And nobody uses that railing to her advantage like the Hellcat. She was just taking out the trash, was she?
Look at that crowd. Remember one thing. It's the year 2000, and those people vote.
Right here you have dueling banjos almost. First you're going to see a back attack by Denise Loden. She takes Shauna Brown and does a clinic. And then Millie Guthrie, she never saw anybody like the Hellcat, and a Hellcat hath no fury like the Hellcat or something. I'm looking for a metaphor in there somewhere. And the Hellcat, she's just cursing people.
She puts you at a loss for words, I'll tell you. Millie Guthrie just got a little bit of revenge by sending Leather Gunning's face into the rail, and now Denise Loden, oh man. How about that shot to the Hellcat? And Loden and Amy Craig are out together. Amy Craig moving up toward the back of the pack, and we still, about midway through this period, have not seen what Leather had in mind when she threatened Amy Craig at halftime. But now it's Loden and Craig who have a chance to score points right here. Look at the work Denise Loden is doing. Craig slips back on the track, her foot had gone into the infield for a moment. And they are taking apart the enforcers. Loden leading the way, and Craig and Loden both scoring easy points. Big jam for the Riot. 7 points.
And that's 7 points in a hurry. And the love slave, this must have been what Leather Gunning was talking about having in store for Amy Craig, Rory.
Wow, take a look at that. That's unbelievable.
Well, the ghost of Christmas past has handcuffed Amy Craig to the penalty box bench.
Oh, there's a shot from Talisa Miller. Leather has handcuffed Amy Craig. You see D'Amato there? He snuck a trash can lid to Talisa Miller, and she's skating around the track with it. Amy Craig obviously is not involved in this particular jam.
Oh my goodness.
You can hear that up here. And Denise Loden has not moved a muscle since she was hit over the head with that trash can lid. Talisa Miller just knocked her out. She might be seeing stars if she's seeing anything right now. Millie Guthrie sneaks over to see if Loden's all right, while Talisa Miller and Leather go on with the jam. They're just going to have to skate by a fallen skater. I wonder if they'll give points for Loden, who's laying there knocked out. The enforcers are racking him up. The referee's watching. King Richard's gone over to check on Loden, and now she'll get some medical attention as well. And the jam is called off by Gunning. What did they get?
There was 28 black points on the play.
28 points?
Buddy, you hear me?
Every time they left, they scored 5 points each. Did Heather Gunning and Talisa Miller, the Hellcat. The King dialing a little 911, but with Denise Loden and Amy Craig out.
Give me a AAA card. You got a AAA card? I need a locksmith. I want a locksmith.
Richard Brown's trying to call a locksmith. But it's too late. The period is over. The women aren't skating anymore anyway.
AAA card.
I don't have a AAA
Well, find me a hacksaw, something to get this doggone thing off.
Gee.
Now Denise Lowden has awoken, and she's not happy. Look at the fight in the infield. That's the end of 3. I've never seen a score like that. 41-18. We'll be right back. We're ready to go into the 4th and final period, and I don't know how the Riot could come back from 41-18, although they have a shot to get a few here. Mo Sanders and Travis Wills putting on a speed skating exhibition. They jump over the pack, and they both got them all. 10 points.
Riot points.
That'll get you back in
10
it.
Riot points.
But they still have a long way to go, trailing 41-28 now.
Mark D'Amato can't believe it. I'm wondering if he's going to confer with the new manager, Spike. Maybe get some consolation from that bitch, as he referred to. But that's 10 points in a hurry, as fast as the 28 points. Here you see right off the starting line, I believe that was Ray Robles, fresh off his face to the track that he saw at the end of the first half. Takes down the whole pack. He went after Tim Washington. When Tim Washington buckles, everybody goes down, and you see both jammers a full lap of the track, full lap of the pack. 10 big points quick.
The Enforcers never got off the line in that jam. Mo Sanders and Travis Wills showed tremendous speed to pick up 10 points. They're still down by 13, however, with 3 jams to go. And Sanders is doing it again. Wow. Now Fred Eichhorn's next, and he goes over that rail. And there's Travis Wills trailing the play as Sanders has done all the damage. Maybe they can get another 10. If so, they're back in it. Sanders reaches D'Amato and Washington. And that's where the momentum stops, at least for now. Ray Robles says, wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. Let me help you through here. Give me a little whip, and maybe I can get you through. There's the whip for Robles. He leaps into the air and pulls them both down. Sanders and Wills get through again.
8.
And they had to dodge their own team. He was out there in the briefcase, and there's the knee into the lower back of D'Amato.
8 Riot points.
No.
He managed to go almost the entire game without clocking anybody with the briefcase until now.
You know what? See, no. You got yourself a count.
I'm not sure if he found a locksmith or not. We saw him calling a locksmith to unhandcuff Amy Craig, the king. But I'll tell you, Roy, I never thought I'd say that a jam of 10 and 8 points consecutively would be needed to chip away at the lead, but the Riot are back in it.
Thanks to Sanders and Wills and Robles, the Riot are on an 18-0 run. We'll be back in just a minute.
To get the inside stories behind all the action, to come face-to-face with the larger-than-life personalities, to get close to the incredible hunks and heart-stopping beauties of the WSL, subscribe to Roller Jam Magazine. Call 315-458-8123. Get sensational posters and powerhouse profiles of your favorite stars. A one-year subscription is only $18. Roller Jam Magazine. It's in your face.
We're back with 2 jams left to go, and King Richard Brown has managed to have himself tossed into the penalty box even though he's not playing anymore. How about that, Broadway?
You gotta bribe the man.
Who are you talking to? Sorry to interrupt, but...
None of your business who I'm talking to. Do I look like I'm gonna tell you anything?
Well, it's just a matter of time before you used your briefcase.
What about, get off my briefcase.
We knew it was a matter of time before you'd use it on someone in this game, King Richard.
I tripped onto the track. It's not my fault I tripped.
Now back to you, Rory.
Yeah, we'll accept that, King.
You gotta do
He's
something.
talking to somebody in the kingdom, obviously. I heard him mention the word bribe, but that's about as far as we know. All right, jam 3. Just 2 jams left to go, and the Riot have come from way down with 18 consecutive points. They're only down by 5 now. Still, I don't know if they can pull this thing out. It seems almost impossible. Even though Travis Wills is having a huge 4th period. He's out there and he gets knocked down with Eichhorn. They both went down. They both popped right back up like a jack-in-the-box. And Eichhorn now looks ahead of himself and he sees Ray Robles set up with Brian Gamble. That's a tough duo. Mike Gordon again knocks Wills down. He'll try Gamble and Robles again. To no avail so far. D'Amato. D'Amato in Washington will help him out. And there are the enforcer points that just might put the game out of reach.
Too black. Too black.
Every time Washington sees Robles, he thinks about the bill for his Harley. And there's an extra shot for Gamble, too.
Turn it around. You know what the rules are. You know what the rules are.
They know what the rules are. They just don't abide by them.
You get yours.
Well, fortunately for Robles and Brian Gamble, they saw it right at the end there, Rory, or it would have been much worse. He only glances both of them enough to knock him down with the angel of death as Tim Washington, big nasty, throws Mark D'Amato, but Ray Robles and Brian Gamble still went down 2 points, and we're in a white knuckler going down to the wire, the last jam.
The Riot have climbed the mountain, but so far they're still looking up. 43-36, the Enforcers on top, and the Riot do have the only 2 jammers right now who can score any points. And who do you think it is? Travis Wills and Mo Sanders again emerging as great jammers, but can they get by D'Amato? Can they get by Washington? Look at Robles. What's he got in his hand? He just tossed something off the track. Ray Robles, it would be chili powder. I'd bet my life on it. He's got it in his right hand. He turns around to face him. Oh, he had it in both hands. He puts it into the eyes of D'Amato and Washington. And then he slugs D'Amato. Wills and Sanders go through, and they got them all. They got them all. And there's another one for you. He tripped again, I guess.
We got them all, and he's getting more.
D'Amato is laid out flat on the track, and the Riot have won the game.
Oh, no.
First he can't see, and then somebody hits him over the head with a briefcase. Who do you think that somebody is?
Well, he's going to need a new briefcase. He's been getting a lot of work here. He's been slipping so much as the king.
He needs an extra durable briefcase. The Riot win the game, 46-43. I mean, they were so far down they couldn't see the top.
Well, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Leather gun and handcuffed Amy Craig to the penalty box. They scored 28 big points, the Enforcer women. And then to win the game, Ray Robles comes out with the chili powder, takes out Big Nasty and Mark D'Amato, paves the way for his 2 jammers to score the points. It was ugly, but it was a win.
You know, we've seen benches, we've seen briefcases, we've seen trash cans, we've seen chairs. And the greatest weapon of all has been a little pouch of chili powder. All right, Broadway Danny Wolf, you're with the winning jammer, Mo Sanders.
All right, thank you, Rory. Unbelievable comeback. Down by 23 points, the Illinois Riot make. This is the greatest comeback in the history of the league, Mo, and you were a big part of it.
Danny, what took you so long to interview me? I'm the best jammer in the league right now. I don't know if you check the points per game, but I think I'm in the lead.
Well, you're definitely coming into your own, but I still think a lot of people believe that Jason McDaniel, the hot dice, might be the best.
You know what? I'm so tired of hearing about Jason McDaniels this, Jason McDaniels that. Jason McDaniels ain't got nothing on me. When we skate against the dice on our next game, you're going to see. I'm going to be on my feet. Jason's going to be on his back.
Mo, let's go.
Well, I guess that's all Mo's allowed to say, according to manager Richard Brown. Back to you, Rory and Hawk.
He's still the king, but this guy is the chili powder king, and he helped his team come back and pull it out. Riot 46, Enforcers 43, and the sad thing about this game is that Spike the dog is 0-1 as the manager. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Roller Jam.